Over 300,000 Americans live completely off-grid today, and they've never experienced a single day without power, internet, or modern conveniences. Here's why it matters. When the grid goes down for you, these communities don't just survive, they thrive. Stick around because I'm about to reveal 20 Amish survival secrets that could save your life when everything goes dark. Hey everyone! I've spent the last 3 weeks researching Amish communities and emergency preparedness experts, and what I found will absolutely blow your mind. Did you know the average Amish family has enough stored food and resources to last 18 months without any external support? In this video, I'm going to show you 20 lesser-known Amish survival techniques that mainstream prepping communities have completely overlooked. These aren't your typical survival tips. These are time-tested secrets that have kept entire communities self-sufficient for centuries. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. In fact, I want you to pause right now and write in the comments. What's the one modern convenience you think you couldn't live without? Because by the end of this video, you'll be questioning everything you thought you needed to survive. Number 1. Root cellar mastery. Picture this. It's the middle of winter. Snow is piled 3 feet high outside, and you're walking down a set of wooden stairs into a cool, earthy space filled with the crisp scent of fresh vegetables. That's a root cellar, and the Amish have been using them for over 3 centuries. These aren't just holes in the ground. They're engineering marvels built without a single electronic tool. The Amish dig these cellars 8 to 12 feet underground, where the earth stays a consistent 32 to 40 degrees year-round. They line them with stone or concrete, add ventilation shafts, and create separate sections for different types of produce. Potatoes go in the driest area, while apples and cabbage need higher humidity. The genius is in the airflow. They use simple physics to keep air circulating naturally. What really amazes me is how they can store hundreds of pounds of vegetables for months without any electricity. My neighbour tried this with just a small cellar and kept fresh carrots all the way through April. The Amish store entire harvests. We're talking thousands of pounds of potatoes, turnips and squash that stay crisp and nutritious through the harshest winters. They don't just throw vegetables in randomly either. Each item gets specific treatment. Beets and carrots are buried in sand. Apples are stored in slotted crates with space between each layer. Cabbage hangs upside down from ceiling hooks. This isn't guesswork. It's 300 years of refined knowledge passed down through generations. Number 2. Dehydration without electricity. The Amish don't need fancy dehydrators or expensive equipment to preserve their food. They've mastered the art of air drying and smoke drying using simple wooden structures and natural heat sources. Their drying rooms are built into barns or separate outbuildings, heated by wood stoves that maintain perfect low temperatures for days. What's incredible is their jerky house system. These are small insulated rooms where they hang meat on wooden racks. A single wood stove keeps the temperature steady at around 120 degrees, and they can dry hundreds of pounds of meat at once. The process takes 12 to 24 hours, but the results last for years without refrigeration. They also use smokehouses for larger cuts of meat. These aren't just for flavour. The smoke creates natural preservatives that prevent spoilage. Whole hams can be preserved this way and stored for months in cool pantries. The Amish will process an entire pig in one day, creating everything from bacon to hams to sausage, all preserved naturally. Their fruit drying techniques are equally impressive. They build simple wooden frames with mesh bottoms and dry apples, peaches, and berries in thin layers. The dried fruit becomes sweeter and more concentrated, providing essential nutrients during winter months. Some families dry enough fruit in one season to last their entire family for 8 months. Vegetable drying happens on specially designed screens that catch morning sun while staying protected from insects. They dry everything from corn to beans to mushrooms, creating lightweight, nutrient-dense foods that store easily. Number 3. Natural food preservation. Walk into any Amish kitchen and you'll find shelves lined with glass jars filled with vibrant colours, ruby red beets, golden pickles, and amber honey. The Amish preserve food using techniques that require zero electricity and cost next to nothing. Salt curing is their secret weapon for meats. They coat hams and bacon in salt mixtures that draw out moisture and create natural preservatives. These cured meats can hang in their pantries for months, ready to feed a family whenever needed. Fermentation is another Amish superpower. They transform cabbage into sauerkraut using nothing but salt and thyme. The natural bacteria do all the work, creating probiotics while preserving the vegetables for up to 18 months. Their sauerkraut isn't just preserved food. It's actually more nutritious than fresh cabbage because the fermentation process creates beneficial bacteria. Pickling is everywhere in Amish households. They pickle everything from cucumbers to eggs to watermelon rinds. Vinegar, salt, and spices create preservation solutions that keep food safe while adding incredible flavours. Some Amish families have pickle recipes that have been passed down for 5 generations. Their fruit preservation methods are pure genius. They make jams and jellies using natural pectin from fruits and minimal sugar. These preserves seal naturally in sterilised jars and stay fresh for years. Apple butter is another staple. They slow-cook apples for hours until they become rich, concentrated spreads that provide winter calories and comfort. Number 4. Seasonal eating and planning. The Amish don't just grow food randomly. They follow nature's calendar with military precision. Every month has specific tasks and foods that guide their entire lifestyle. In March, they're already planning their garden layouts and ordering seeds. By April, they're preparing soil and planting cold-hardy crops like peas and lettuce. Summer becomes their preservation season. When the garden explodes with produce in July and August, entire communities work together to process everything before it spoils. They know exactly how much food each family needs for winter, and they never guess. They calculate based on decades of experience. Fall is harvest time, but it's also planning time for the next year. They save seeds from their best plants, plan crop rotations, and process massive quantities of food. Every family knows that by Thanksgiving, their root cellars should be full and their pantries stocked. Winter becomes their rest and repair season. They fix tools, plan next year's gardens, and live off what they've stored. But here's the genius part. They're not just surviving winter, they're actively preparing for spring. Their seasonal eating isn't about restriction. It's about abundance in the right seasons and careful preservation for the lean times. This cyclical approach means they never face food shortages because they've been planning for each season years in advance. When supply chains break, they're already living the solution. Number 5. Year-round indoor gardening. When snow blankets the ground outside, Amish families are still harvesting fresh greens from their indoor growing spaces. They've mastered the art of cold frame gardening, building simple wooden boxes with glass tops that capture sunlight and create greenhouse effects. These structures can be as basic as old windows propped against a south-facing wall or as sophisticated as purpose-built growing rooms. The secret is understanding microclimates. They position their cold frames to catch maximum sunlight during short winter days. Inside, temperatures stay 10 to 20 degrees warmer than outside, enough to keep leafy greens growing happily. Some families grow lettuce, spinach, and herbs continuously through the coldest months. Their indoor gardening extends to windowsills and basement spaces. They start seedlings in late winter, using reflected light and careful temperature control. Root vegetables like sprouted potatoes and carrot tops provide fresh nutrition when stored vegetables run low. What amazes me is their succession planting system. They plant new crops every 2 weeks, ensuring a continuous harvest. While one batch of lettuce matures, they're planting the next round. This creates a steady supply of fresh food year-round, not just during growing season. They also grow sprouts and microgreens in mason jars on kitchen counters. These provide essential vitamins and fresh flavours during the darkest months. Some families dedicate entire rooms to winter growing, filling shelves with fresh produce while their neighbours rely on stored foods. Strictly follow the first prompt and write a section of 300 words on secret number 6, water independence, based on this outline, and research number 6, water independence. The Amish never worry about water shutoffs or contaminated supplies because they've mastered complete water independence. Walk through any Amish community and you'll see massive cisterns positioned strategically around their properties. These aren't fancy modern systems. They're simple concrete or wood-lined structures that collect rainwater from every roof surface. Their rainwater collection is pure genius in its simplicity. Every downspout directs water into underground storage tanks that can hold thousands of gallons. They use first flush diverters to ensure the cleanest water reaches their storage, washing away initial roof debris. Some families collect over 10,000 gallons of rainwater annually from their barn and house roofs alone. Well, drilling is another Amish specialty. They don't call expensive contractors. They drill their own wells using traditional methods passed down through generations. Hand-powered drilling equipment can reach water sources hundreds of feet deep. Once they find water, they line wells with stone or concrete to prevent contamination. Natural filtration systems are where the Amish really shine. They build sand filters using layers of gravel, sand, and charcoal that remove impurities without electricity. These gravity-fed systems can process hundreds of gallons daily, providing crystal-clear drinking water. Some communities maintain community filtration systems that serve multiple families. Spring development is common in areas with natural water sources. The Amish locate underground springs, then build simple collection systems that channel water into storage tanks. They understand their local geology intimately, knowing exactly where to find the best water sources. Water testing happens regularly in Amish communities. They may not use high-tech equipment, but they understand signs of contamination through experience and traditional knowledge. Cloudy water, unusual tastes, or changes in flow alert them to potential problems before anyone gets sick. Number 7. Bulk food processing. When harvest season arrives, entire Amish communities transform into efficient food processing factories. They don't tackle preservation alone. They work together in massive group efforts that would make any modern prepper jealous. Corn husking bees bring together dozens of families, with everyone contributing labour and sharing the preserved results. Apple pressing days are community events where they process thousands of pounds of fruit in single weekends. Multiple families bring their harvest to shared cider presses, creating gallons of fresh juice and apple butter. The work gets divided so efficiently that what would take one family weeks to accomplish gets finished in days. Meat processing happens on a scale that's hard to imagine. When a community butcher slaughters cattle, they process entire animals together. Some families specialise in smoking, others in canning, and everyone contributes to making sure nothing goes to waste. A single beef can provide months of meat for multiple families. Their canning operations are absolutely massive. During peak season, Amish kitchens buzz with activity as families process hundreds of jars daily. They have systems down to a science. One person prepares vegetables, another sterilises jars, a third handles the actual canning process. Assembly line efficiency without any modern equipment. Grain processing happens at community mills where they grind flour, crack corn, and prepare grains for storage. These mills often operate manually or with water power, ensuring the community can process their harvest regardless of electrical grid status. Some communities maintain multiple mills to handle different types of grains and ensure backup processing capability. The sharing economy extends beyond just labour. Families trade processing time and equipment, ensuring everyone benefits from community knowledge and resources. When one family invests in a new canning setup, they often share it with neighbours during busy seasons. Number 8. Hand tool mastery. Step into an Amish workshop and you'll think you've travelled back in time, but watch them work and you'll realise their hand tools are actually more advanced than our power tools. Their hand saws cut through wood so cleanly that modern carpenters are amazed. The secret isn't just the tools themselves, it's years of practice and meticulous maintenance. Every Amish child learns tool care as soon as they can hold a hammer. They sharpen blades religiously, oil moving parts daily, and replace handles before they crack. A single hand plane might last 5 generations because they treat tools like family heirlooms. When our power tools burn out after a few years, their hand tools are just getting started. Their woodworking techniques are pure artistry. Using only hand planes, chisels, and saws, they create furniture that lasts centuries. The joints are so precise they don't need glue or nails. Drawers slide perfectly after decades of use because every cut was made with patient precision. Modern workshops could learn volumes about quality from watching Amish craftsmen work. Blacksmithing is another lost art they've preserved perfectly. They forge their own tools, repair equipment, and create custom hardware using coal-fired forges. The metalwork is so skilled that their hinges and latches often outlast modern equivalents by decades. They understand metal properties intimately, knowing exactly how to heat and shape different materials. Sewing and textile work happens entirely by hand or foot-powered machines. Amish women create entire quilts using needle and thread, building warmth that lasts generations. Their clothing is sewn with such precision that seams never pop and hems stay perfect for years. When our sewing machines break down, they're still producing essential textiles without missing a beat. Number 9. Natural building materials. Amish homes and barns aren't just beautiful. They're built to last centuries using materials found right on their property. Walk through an Amish farm and you won't see trips to hardware stores or lumber yards. They cut their own timber, quarry their own stone, and make their own bricks using local clay. Their timber framing techniques are engineering marvels that require zero metal fasteners. Massive wooden beams are joined using traditional mortise and tenon joints that have kept structures standing for hundreds of years. These connections actually strengthen over time as the wood settles and compresses. Modern builders charge thousands for techniques the Amish have been perfecting for generations. Stone foundations are another Amish specialty. They identify suitable stone on their property, split it using traditional tools, and build foundations that will never crack or shift. The stones are fitted so precisely that mortar becomes secondary. The weight and positioning do most of the work. Some Amish foundations have been supporting buildings for over 150 years. Clay and straw become walls through ancient cob techniques. They mix local clay with straw and water, then pack it into wooden forms to create insulation that regulates temperature naturally. These walls breathe, preventing moisture build-up while maintaining comfortable indoor temperatures year-round. The materials cost nothing and provide better insulation than expensive modern alternatives. Roofing happens using locally sourced materials too. Cedar shingles split from their own trees, metal roofing salvaged from old structures, or even straw thatching keeps roofs watertight for decades. They understand how each material interacts with their local climate and choose accordingly. When storms damage modern roofs, Amish buildings often remain untouched because they're designed to work with nature, not against it. Number 10. Animal husbandry expertise. The Amish don't just own animals, they understand them intimately. Walk through an Amish farm and you'll see livestock that's healthier, hardier, and more productive than commercial breeds. They've spent generations developing animals that thrive in their specific climate and conditions without expensive feed or medications. Their cattle breeds are chosen for cold tolerance and efficient feed conversion. These animals can survive harsh winters on hay and silage that would barely sustain commercial breeds. They calve easily without veterinary intervention because the Amish select for natural birthing traits. A single Amish cow might produce enough milk for an entire family, while also providing meat and leather. Chicken management is pure efficiency. They raise heritage breeds that forage naturally, reducing feed costs while improving egg production. Their coops are designed for optimal health, proper ventilation, easy cleaning, and protection from predators. Some families rotate dozens of chickens through their gardens, using the birds to control insects and fertilize soil naturally. Horse care represents centuries of accumulated knowledge. These aren't just draft animals, they're partners in every aspect of farm life. Amish families understand horse nutrition, hoof care, and breeding so thoroughly that they rarely need outside help. A well-trained horse can work for 20 years and then live out its life as a pasture pet. Beekeeping provides another layer of self-sufficiency. Amish families maintain hives for honey production and pollination services. They understand bee behavior, seasonal patterns, and hive management without relying on commercial equipment or chemicals. The honey they produce often exceeds commercial quality while providing income and food security simultaneously. Number 11. Traditional medicine knowledge. When the nearest hospital is hours away and pharmaceutical supplies disappear, the Amish rely on a vast pharmacopoeia of natural remedies passed down through generations. Their medicine cabinets aren't filled with pills. They're stocked with dried herbs, tinctures, and traditional preparations that have been tested by time. Every Amish family maintains extensive herb gardens with specific plants for different ailments: echinacea for immune support, willow bark for pain relief, and chamomile for digestive issues. They harvest these plants at optimal times, dry them properly, and store them for year-round use. Some families have medicine rooms filled with hundreds of labelled jars containing specific remedies. Their wound care techniques are surprisingly advanced. They use honey as a natural antibiotic, plantain leaves for insect bites, and calendula preparations for cuts and scrapes. These treatments often work faster than commercial alternatives while avoiding difficult births. They rely on midwifery knowledge that includes natural pain management and emergency procedures. Childhood illness management focuses on prevention and natural treatments. They understand which symptoms require immediate attention versus those that can be managed at home. Teething babies get chamomile tea, fevers are treated with cool baths and specific herbal preparations, and common colds are addressed with elderberry syrups and steam treatments. Emergency preparedness includes knowledge of when modern medical care becomes essential. They maintain relationships with sympathetic doctors and understand the limits of traditional medicine. This balanced approach means they can handle most health issues naturally while knowing when to seek outside help, making their communities remarkably resilient during medical supply shortages. Number 12. Manual skills and craftsmanship. The average Amish teenager can accomplish tasks that would challenge most adults today. They learn essential skills through daily practice and mentorship, building competence that becomes second nature. By age 16, many Amish youth can build furniture, sew clothing, repair tools, and manage livestock without any modern conveniences. Sewing and clothing construction happens entirely by hand or with foot-powered machines. Amish women create entire wardrobes for their families, from underwear to outerwear, using patterns passed down through generations. They understand fabric properties intimately, knowing which materials work best for different seasons and activities. A single dress might be worn for decades because the construction quality exceeds anything found in modern stores. Carpentry skills develop through years of hands-on learning. Young Amish men start with simple projects and gradually master complex joinery techniques. They learn to read wood grain, understand tool maintenance, and create structures that will outlast their great-grandchildren. Their craftsmanship improves with each project because they're constantly refining their techniques. Metalworking knowledge covers everything from basic repairs to complex forge work. They can fabricate replacement parts, repair broken equipment, and create custom tools using only coal-fired forges and hand tools. This skill becomes crucial when commercial replacement parts become unavailable. Food preparation skills extend far beyond basic cooking. They can butcher animals, preserve meats, bake bread in wood stoves, and create meals from stored ingredients. These skills aren't learned from books or videos. They're absorbed through years of daily practice alongside experienced family members. When modern kitchen appliances fail, they're already living the backup plan. Number 13. Community resource sharing. When disaster strikes, Amish communities transform into highly organised mutual aid networks that would make any emergency management team jealous. They don't wait for government assistance or outside help. They solve problems collectively using resources they already have. This isn't just neighbourly kindness. It's a sophisticated system refined over centuries. Barn raising is the perfect example of Amish cooperation. When a family needs a new barn, the entire community shows up with tools, materials, and expertise. In a single day, they can construct a massive timber frame structure that would take weeks for modern contractors. Everyone contributes according to their skills. Some cut timber, others raise walls, and specialised craftsmen handle complex joinery. Resource pooling extends to equipment and tools. Expensive items like tractors, sawmills, and grain processors are shared among multiple families. They maintain detailed schedules so everyone gets access when needed. This system means each family has access to resources worth tens of thousands of dollars without individual financial burden. Emergency response happens immediately and efficiently. When a family faces hardship, whether from illness, accident, or natural disaster, the community mobilises within hours. Some bring food, others provide labour, and skilled craftsmen handle repairs. This support network operates without formal organisation because everyone knows their role intuitively. Knowledge sharing ensures no single family becomes a bottleneck for essential skills. Blacksmiths teach apprentices, midwives train new practitioners, and master craftsmen mentor young workers. This redundancy means the community can survive the loss of key individuals because multiple people maintain crucial skills. When supply chains fail, their human network becomes their greatest resource. Number 14. Energy independence. Through simplicity. The Amish achieve energy independence not through expensive solar panels or generators, but through radical simplicity and intelligent design. Their homes are built for efficiency rather than comfort, using passive heating and cooling strategies that work without any mechanical systems. This approach reduces their energy needs to practically zero. Their housing design maximizes natural light and heat. South-facing windows capture winter sun while overhangs block summer heat. Thick walls made from local materials provide natural insulation that keeps interiors comfortable year-round. Kitchens are positioned to take advantage of morning light, reducing the need for artificial lighting during meal preparation. Cooking happens primarily on wood stoves that serve multiple purposes. These stoves heat the home while preparing meals, and some models include built-in ovens and water heating systems. The heat they produce is free and renewable, requiring only locally sourced firewood. Many Amish kitchens have multiple wood-burning appliances because they understand that centralised heat sources can do triple duty. Lighting solutions are surprisingly sophisticated despite their simplicity. They use oil lamps, candles, and battery-powered LED systems that can be recharged using small solar panels or hand-crank generators. This hybrid approach provides reliable lighting without dependence on grid electricity. Some families have developed elaborate systems that maximize the efficiency of every light source. Transportation relies on horsepower and human energy. Their communities are designed so essential services are within walking distance or short horse-drawn wagon rides. This eliminates the need for fuel while ensuring mobility even when modern transportation systems fail. Their entire lifestyle is built around minimizing energy consumption rather than maximizing convenience. Number 15. Seed saving and genetic diversity. While commercial agriculture relies on patented seeds that must be purchased annually, the Amish maintain vast seed libraries of heirloom varieties that have been saved and shared for generations. These aren't just old seeds. They're genetic treasures that commercial farming has nearly eliminated. Their seed-saving practices preserve biodiversity that could become crucial for global food security. Every Amish family selects their best plants for seed production, choosing for traits like disease resistance, flavour, and adaptability to local conditions. They understand which plants cross-pollinate and take steps to maintain varietal purity. Some families have been growing the same tomato varieties for over 50 years, slowly adapting them to their specific microclimate. Their seed storage methods are surprisingly sophisticated. They dry seeds properly, store them in cool, dry conditions, and test germination rates regularly. Glass jars with tight-fitting lids, stored in root cellars, can preserve seed viability for decades. They label everything carefully and maintain detailed records of performance and characteristics. Community seed exchanges happen regularly, with families trading varieties and sharing knowledge about growing conditions. This sharing ensures that valuable genetics spread throughout the community while maintaining diversity. If disease affects one area, other regions may have resistant varieties that can be shared. The genetic diversity they maintain is staggering. While commercial agriculture might offer 3 varieties of corn, Amish communities often grow 20 or more. This diversity provides resilience against pests, diseases, and climate variations. When commercial seed supplies become unreliable, their saved seeds represent genetic resources that could feed entire regions. Number 16. Barter economy readiness. The Amish don't need credit cards, banks, or digital payments because they've perfected a sophisticated barter system that works even when modern currency becomes worthless. Their economy is based on tangible goods and services, creating resilience that paper money cannot provide. This system has kept their communities functioning through countless economic disruptions. Skill trading forms the backbone of their economic system. A carpenter might trade furniture for meat from a butcher, who then trades that meat for grain from a farmer. These exchanges happen through informal networks and mutual trust that has been built over generations. Everyone knows who produces quality goods and who provides reliable services. Their pricing system is based on time and materials rather than market fluctuations. A day's work equals a day's work, regardless of what the broader economy is doing. This stability means families can plan and trade with confidence, knowing that their skills will always have value within the community. Specialised craftspeople become essential trading partners. Blacksmiths, tanners, seamstresses, and millers provide services that cannot be easily replaced. They charge in goods or services rather than money, creating economic relationships that persist through any crisis. When modern supply chains fail, these local specialists become the foundation of community survival. Emergency trading protocols ensure that essential needs are met. During hardships, if a family loses their barn to fire, the community provides materials and labour without immediate compensation. The debt is repaid over time through future trades, creating a safety net that works without formal insurance or government assistance. This mutual aid system functions as both economy and emergency response. Number 17. Multi-generational knowledge transfer. The Amish have cracked the code on preserving practical knowledge across generations without relying on books, videos, or formal education systems. Every child becomes a living library of survival skills through immersive learning that starts at age 5 and continues throughout their lifetime. This knowledge transfer system ensures that crucial information never gets lost. Hands-on teaching happens daily as children work alongside adults in every aspect of community life. Young children learn food preservation by helping with canning and drying. Teenagers master construction techniques by building real structures under expert supervision. Nothing is theoretical. Every skill gets practiced repeatedly until it becomes instinctive. Storytelling preserves historical knowledge and lessons learned from past challenges. Elder community members regularly share accounts of how previous generations handled droughts, blizzards, and economic hardships. These stories contain practical information disguised as entertainment, making crucial survival wisdom memorable and engaging. Apprenticeship systems ensure that specialized skills get passed to new practitioners. Master craftsmen take on multiple apprentices, teaching not just techniques, but also the reasoning behind each method. This approach means that if one blacksmith or midwife becomes unavailable, trained replacements are ready to step in. Documentation happens through memory and practice rather than written records. Families maintain detailed knowledge of their specific techniques, tools, and methods through repeated demonstration and correction. Children don't just learn how to do tasks. They learn why each step matters and how to adapt when conditions change. This deep understanding makes their knowledge flexible and resilient. Number 18. Waste reduction and resourcefulness. The Amish operate on a zero-waste principle that would make modern environmentalists jealous. They don't have trash pickup services, so they've developed systems that ensure nothing of value gets discarded. Every material gets used for multiple purposes before it's finally composted or burned for heat. Their clothing cycle is a perfect example of resource maximization. Children wear hand-me-downs from older siblings, with garments getting patched and repaired until every thread is exhausted. When fabric finally wears out, it gets cut into cleaning rags or used for stuffing mattresses. Even the smallest scraps get saved for patchwork or craft projects. Food waste becomes animal feed or compost. Vegetable peels feed chickens, stale bread gets crumbled for livestock, and cooking grease is rendered into lamp oil. Their composting systems are so efficient that they rarely need to purchase fertilizer. Kitchen scraps, yard waste, and organic materials all get processed into rich soil amendments. Broken tools and equipment get repaired rather than replaced. They maintain extensive collections of spare parts, salvaged materials, and repair knowledge that keeps everything functional. A broken handle becomes an opportunity to practice woodworking skills. A worn blade gets sharpened and retempered rather than discarded. Building materials get reused for decades. When a barn needs replacement, the lumber gets incorporated into new structures. Old fence posts become firewood. Metal roofing gets moved from one building to another as needs change. This resourcefulness means they can maintain their lifestyle with a fraction of the materials that modern households consume, making them incredibly resilient when supply chains fail. Number 19. Physical fitness and manual labour. The Amish don't need gyms, fitness trackers, or exercise equipment because their daily lives provide constant physical conditioning that would exhaust most modern people. From dawn to dusk, they engage in purposeful physical activity that builds strength, endurance, and practical skills simultaneously. This natural fitness program has kept generations healthy and capable. Walking is their primary mode of transportation, with most Amish covering 10 to 15 miles daily on foot. They walk to neighbours, to town, and between fields, building cardiovascular health and leg strength that lasts decades. Their bodies are naturally adapted to physical demands because movement is built into every aspect of their routine. Manual labour provides functional strength training that's more practical than any gym routine. Splitting wood develops upper body power, digging wells builds core strength, and farming creates whole body conditioning. They lift heavy objects regularly, carry water buckets, and perform tasks that would challenge professional athletes. Seasonal activities ensure varied physical challenges throughout the year. Spring planting requires repetitive bending and lifting. Summer harvesting involves long hours of standing and carrying. Fall preparation includes heavy lifting and equipment maintenance. Winter brings indoor tasks like wood splitting and tool repair that maintain fitness during cold months. Their physical conditioning isn't just about strength, it's about endurance and resilience. They can work long hours in challenging conditions because their bodies are adapted to sustained physical effort. When modern conveniences disappear and manual labour becomes necessary for survival, their natural fitness gives them a massive advantage over sedentary populations. Number 20. Mental resilience and adaptability. Perhaps the most powerful Amish survival secret isn't physical, it's psychological. The Amish have developed extraordinary mental resilience through their lifestyle choices, community support, and philosophical approach to uncertainty. When modern society crumbles, their mental preparation becomes their greatest advantage. Their acceptance of uncertainty eliminates much of the stress that cripples other communities during crises. They don't expect perfection or convenience because their daily lives already involve significant challenges. Power outages don't panic them because they've never relied on electricity. Supply shortages don't devastate them because they produce most of what they need locally. Community support systems provide emotional stability that individualistic societies lack. When families face difficulties, they receive immediate help from neighbours who understand both the practical and emotional aspects of hardship. This social network prevents the isolation and depression that often accompany disasters in modern communities. Their problem-solving approach focuses on what they can control rather than worrying about external factors. When challenges arise, they immediately start working on solutions using available resources. This proactive mindset prevents paralysis and maintains momentum during difficult times. Faith and philosophy provide additional mental strength. Their religious beliefs give meaning to hardship and provide hope during extended difficulties. They understand that challenges are temporary and that community cooperation can overcome almost any obstacle. This mental framework allows them to remain calm and productive when others panic, making their communities naturally more resilient than heavily connected areas. So there you have it, 20 incredible Amish survival secrets that could literally save your life when the grid goes down. But here's what really struck me after researching these techniques. The Amish aren't just surviving without modern conveniences, they're thriving in ways that make our technology-dependent lives seem fragile and vulnerable. What's truly remarkable is that these aren't fancy survival gadgets or expensive prepping equipment. These are time-tested, practical solutions that anyone can learn and implement. The Amish have proven that self-sufficiency isn't about going back to the Stone Age. It's about smart planning, community cooperation, and mastering essential skills that work regardless of external circumstances. The real secret isn't any single technique. It's their mindset of preparedness, resourcefulness, and mutual support. When we rely entirely on complex systems that can fail, we become vulnerable. But when we develop the knowledge and skills to take care of ourselves and our communities, we become resilient. Call to action. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these 20 Amish survival secrets surprised you the most? Did you know that communities can function completely independently of modern infrastructure? Drop a comment below and let me know which secret you're most excited to try first. If you found these survival techniques as eye-opening as I did, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more life-saving preparedness tips. Hit that notification bell so you never miss when we explore more traditional survival wisdom that modern prepping has forgotten. And before you go, check out our video on 10 items the government doesn't want you to stockpile. It's packed with crucial information that complements everything we've learned today. Remember, the best time to prepare was yesterday, but the second best time is right now. Stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you in the next video.